challenges. In routine also, again, and as an answer also, in your answer to your question, that communication, again, unconscious bias, lack of trust. This is one of the major things, that if you don't trust another person, then you will not, of course, believe what they are saying. And then, of course, not, try to be compassionate. And then even you can be hostile if you don't, just lack of trust will cause all these issues. And discrimination. So it shouldn't be a tick box exercise for the organization per se, and it shouldn't be a tick box exercise for us also. So try to incorporate those things in your day-to-day working. So this was June 2022 data, and the percentage of NHS staff which experienced discrimination at work, and by ethnicity and area. So just see that, the yellow ones are white, and dark blue are other than white, and then overall. So there is, difference, quite a difference. And almost the interesting thing is that all the areas are like 13, 14, 15% for them, and 5, 6% for other group. So it's everywhere, and it is there, and it is a reality. So I would just repeat again, not only for interview, as a general, be very mindful of those things. We don't sometimes, ignore, we don't know sometimes. So everyone includes who, and equality, again, just a definition, diversity and inclusion. Just a quick recap of the definition. So if I think the EDI questions should be easy for you now, because think of an example for equality, think of an example of diversity, think of an example of inclusion. Think of first line, how would you answer that question? Think of second line, don't get stunned, number one, because those are sometimes very difficult question. And those are very sometimes, they do get you off guard. So try not to get perplexed while answering. So I think everyone should be fine, but I will go that how to answer that. So SPICE structure. So see, we had covered CAM technique for the personal thing, and then STAR technique for the situational answers, and or behavioral, again, SPICE technique. So those are the kind of a difficult situations, ethical or difficult. So one of the EDI questions can be answered in this. And even if they are not asking you a situation, I try to incorporate a practical answer. So seek information, and then patient safety, public or professional, personal safety. So if you have got an idea that patient would suffer, you shouldn't close your eye and just pass through the corridor. You should act and take initiative and escalate, whom to escalate, and when to involve to others. You should know. And this is very, 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 like, it's up to you. But I would say personally, I won't stop myself from, escalating to whomsoever. And I don't mind to be questioned. And I don't mind if someone, like my colleagues know me, I am the one who is involved in a situation. And so others should also be there to interfere if someone else is, getting involved in certain situations. So support, and then what you need, it's not always the other person. So if you should be able to identify your own needs and your own support, what you require. So you can always ask the colleague for help, always ask your line manager, always ask the leadership people, always ask the laboratory manager, like whomever. So if you want, or the support is required in a certain situation, first thing, act up for others, but for yourself also. Keep me first. And gather maximum information for that. And have you ever break the rules? Yeah, I'll just go through that, Rita. And I think there is one afterwards. There is one that have you ever made a mistake or have you ever? So you can always say that yes, we are human beings, and even you sometimes break traffic laws. Sometimes you break the glass. So try to make a bit of humor in that answer also. So how to break? Sorry, your question was that have you ever broken the rule? I would say that it depends what the rule is. And sometimes there are certain absurd rules. Uh, and sometimes there are, of course, like, kind of NHS rules. And you would say that I have, I think, tried to answer that in one of those things, but not keeping yourself in jeopardized position. So yeah, yes, I thought so. I saw this thing. I thought that patients would be in, those will be affected, and those will be, that the last, which I said about that patient safety or public safety or personal safety. So I have broken the rules if I felt about a certain thing. So for me personally also, I have broken a rule, one of the rules in the lab, and we went through significant collection of backlog, and uh, it was not kind of, it was again an internal rule, but I went through that. I requested the fellow colleagues. Because why? Because I thought that patient safety was at stake. And I requested some of the fellow colleagues, and we did, triaging for certain period of time. And one thing would be that it should be some like minor rule. Second would be that you can say that for the patient safety, and that's what I was saying. That if it is at stake, then you can say that yes, that, and then better to be have that it was kind of an internal rule, because you can't, I will go through the GMC articles later on. So you can't break those kind of rules where you would be, in huge trouble. So rules are there for a reason. So you can answer that in something of the sort that yes, I have, but that was kind of an internal rule, and I saw that there is a patient safety was there, it was being uh, at risk. So I have done that and give an example. So you can say that to get the task done, or to keep the patient safe, or to make this. So yes, I have done that, but of course we won't be making a habit of breaking the rules, but we have bent the rule sometime, one time or another. And I think that is the reality also. So you can answer the question in that way, and then seek information maximum and don't judge. And so we were going the SPICE structure now, and seek information, get maximum information, because that will be making you in a best possible position to handle the situation and to answer the question also. So you can say, rather you should say that I will seek maximum information and make informed judgment about the scenario, and don't be harsh, of course. Like you should be, um, like previously I said that you should be mindful. You should be, and we should try. And then also, yes, under pressure we can be sometimes. It's always some special circumstance and special situation. So this time I'm reading a new book. I don't know last time which book I talked about, but I'm reading Black Swan. So they say that those are the outliers, people or events in the history which change the history. So it is again a finance book, but and they said that in finance they don't consider the outliers or those situations while calculating the risk or investment uh, options. So for us also, you shouldn't be try. be harsh immediately. So those are some, I would say, some special circumstances, some difficult or very difficult circumstances. Sometimes those are very outlier kind of situations which can make people and yourself also, which can make us a bit harsh, a bit bitter, and then get maximum information about the person, about their background, about why they are acting in a certain way. If they are acting in a certain way, try to be as mindful as that. That yes, sometimes people say that you talk about things, out of the out of the box, rather impractical, like emotional things. So I always say that no, we are human beings, we have emotions, and we should try our level best and then leave the rest. But try to get information about the situation. Your answer would be that I will try to get maximum information. I will try to make informed judgment. We shouldn't judge each other, but I will try to. So I'm still at like difficult question. I'm still at answering the difficult situation kind of question. Then patient, public, or personal harm. So personal, it could be other person, of course, like who can be harmed by a certain scenario, and it can be patient. Again, for us, patient comes first. GMC says we all are doing, and not only GMC says, it should be, we have taken Hippocrates oath while, graduating, all of us, I'm sure. And you should be very conscientious person, not only thinking about again, not only please think about the interview, not only think about your job, but as a human being, how can be best possible? We are in this world for once only. YOLO, you only live once. So each day, each time which is passing will not come again. So make maximum use of yourself, make maximum use of your brain. God has given you. Not don't keep it for a rainy day. And make maximum use of your health, I would say, and make maximum use of your skills. Try to be as beneficial as possible. Tries to be as outlier, as black swan as possible. So that book is actually, I'm still reading it. I will give you the review in the end, that how do I find that book in the end. So it's always clinical professional place. Why does it like affect that? Because it reduces the confidence of the patient, even confidence of the colleagues, even confidence of ourselves. If we, for example, if we get a complaint, you are shaken. You are shaken for a few, moments, and like, how can I? And but we are human beings. We will still make mistakes. It's like that reflect and reduce the mistakes. Don't make it again. Again, if the rule breakage question, you should say that yes, once in a while I have done that. Take an example of a very minor rule, and then say that because colleague safety, because patient safety, because, for example, if you see, I'm just giving you an absurd example, that if you see that in the side of the road, someone is having a, God forbid, heart attack. So, but you are in the middle of the road. Rule says that you shouldn't stop, or you should not go on red light. And that's what I actually did one day. That I just crossed red light because I saw the ambulance. So rule says that you shouldn't. I shouldn't have done that, to be honest. But it was my instinct that I went slightly over. So thankfully, I didn't get a ticket because I didn't cross the light complete. But that was my own instinct. I saw the ambulance, and that was, breakage. So I can even answer that question in that yes, in professional scenario, we would have done that. I would say that if there is a rule that okay, you should come at 8:30 a.m. at your lab. Have you never done that? That you have come late? No, we have done that. But it all depends that why. Is it your habit? Is it your personal, you want to have extra cup of tea at home, or it was because of XYZ? So yes, I have broken the rule. Yes, I have done that. So same goes for, I think, all of the questions, answers. That try to think for yourself and try to change your thinking if it needs changing. And I must say that it's not like changing it's like grooming yourself. It's like incorporating more better thinking. It's not changing. When people say change your thinking, change your style, change your, no, it's not like change. It's like make yourself slightly more better, make yourself slightly more thoughtful and mindful, and then take initiative, please. This is what most of us lack. And in finance, again, they say that the maximum drive, like the one factor which drives the success of a company, is that if it is able to answer people's question, that what's in it for me. So that drives success. So yes, of course, you should think for yourself from the start of interview. I'm saying think about, it's about yourself. But this, because over here in webinar, I'm trying to incorporate how to talk, how to converse during an interview. If I'm working, I would think about patient. Then it's not about myself. So, and then third thing would be that take initiative. Do not be, please, 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 do not have horse vision. Do not have that I would just go and do my work. Even at road also, some of the social experiments, if you have seen on social media, that some people would definitely get up and stand for someone having bullying some other child or something, or if there is someone having heart attack. If you do get that, try to see those social experiments and then think that if you were in that situation, what would you do? And same goes for your workplace, that if you are in a difficult situation or your colleague is in a difficult situation, don't think that, okay, this is not my problem. Nothing is in it for me. So I'll just work, I'll just do my work and go home. Yes, you are doing the bare minimum then. And yes, no one will question you. But the best would be that if you are able to take initiative, and your answer should definitely reflect that. That so you may ask to speak with them privately, and in your answer, if it involves a certain person or a colleague, so just say, like in previous questions I have told, that I will try to, don't say I will take them to the side of the room. No, because the room may be filled with people and they may overhear what you are saying. So you should always say that I will take them to private place, and I will try to speak to them privately. And if needed, then I'll ask for. So I'll just go for that you need to, if where this escalate. So escalate the situation if you are yourself not able to handle. So when you have got the example in your mind, sometimes you do have to escalate. You do have to talk to your line manager. You do have to talk to someone else. That, but first talk to the colleague. First talk to the person who is involved in this, and then goes the second level. Sometimes it's like that. Oh, the person is doing this, and I will directly go and like child kids, they put complaints against each other that this kid did this to me. So not that kind of situation, that immediately you shouldn't escalate. First, you should try and involve the colleague, request them, and then if they are unable to understand your point of view, or they are not giving your self a bit of importance, I would say, then you should always, so you should say that I will try to gather the information, seek information, I'll try to make informed consent, I'll take the initiative, and do it please in your routine work also. And because my observation is that most of us, unfortunately, we lack the initiative power, and we'll just say, okay, let's not get ourselves into trouble. So again, don't poke nose if someone is having some personal thing. So don't try to poke, but if you see that there is a need, and of course it's your instinct, so if there is need, then please do so. And then if it is regarding an appropriate level, so you can say in your answer that I would escalate at an appropriate level if you don't know the answer, like the exact situation. So if it, for example, I will give you the example of the question which was asked, that they asked me about some person delivering a lecture to students, and then there was a scenario. So if a person is not my colleague, for my colleague, I know that I have to go to the line manager or I have to go to the clinical director. I'm just seeing a scenario or seeing a scene. So to whom to escalate exactly, I don't know. So what I answered in that to their line manager, to their director. So then the end is GMC. At first, you will try to resolve at your level. Then second, then another colleague, senior colleague. Then don't say another colleague, say another senior consultant. And then, supervising consultant or line manager, or I think line manager or clinical director are two of the very best, because sometimes the technical staff can be involved in certain, situations. So you can say, and maybe clinical staff are not their direct line managers. So you can always say that line manager. And if it is a clinician, then you can say clinical director. So those two terminologies are the best one to escalate if required. And then support after effects of the situation. Don't escalate and leave the situation there and then. And again, I would say go home. Bye bye. Next day, and the next day, and the next day. So till where you can help, and for the other colleague, or where you can step up. So for yourself also, again, because we are affected by certain situations. So for ourselves also, we should not, from the start, I'm saying, please be positive. Be positive is the best blood group. I'm not be positive, but try to be positive. Try to be. So one negative thought will create huge problem for your brain and yourself, but the positivity is contagious, and smiling is also contagious. So be yourself, be beautiful. Okay, so these are one of the few of the common questions where you can use the SPICE technique, and where you can answer those. And again, EDI can be similar. The equality diversity questions can be similar. So one of your junior colleagues, this is one of the very common questions. So keep coming late. So again, seek information that I will ask them. It could be a personal problem, could be habitual, could be non-habitual, could be once in a while. So it all depends that how frequent the event is happening. And then I will just talk to them. I will explain to them that we are here for the patient, and there are, by the job planning and by the rules, you should be here by whatever, 8:30 a.m. or so. And if there is some personal issue going on, or if there is some, again, offbeat kind of thing, so what support do they require? However, if they say that they are unable to understand or they deny, again, feedback is very difficult to, accept. So if they deny, or they say that they don't care about, and you can say it in your answer, that if they deny and if they don't give importance to your advice, and they are in a negative feedback loop, so what you would say, that you will escalate it. Because again, is it for you? Are there your, I would say, maybe plumber? No, they are not coming to work for your house and fix your things. They're coming for the patients. They're coming for the trust. They're coming for the department. So it's not your personal thing. But so you should take initiative, escalate if necessary. And then if afterwards they need, I would just check on them. Just say that I would again check on them, that if they need any further support. And I would say that always use they, them, please. The pronouns in your answer, make a habit, unless and until you are giving a specific example of a specific person. But I would say, again, don't give a specific person's answer. But like if it is someone whom the interviewers don't know, or you are giving interview in another trust, you might do that, but I would rather not use, names or she or he or something like that. So you overhear two nurses gossip about the fact. So gossiping, one thing. Then it was asked in my question, my interview also. Then underperformance. So again, spice or star technique, you can use both in this. You see, I read that and I really like that it is part of the difficulty, and you can answer that. You can put this in your answer also, that it is you have to overcome the fear that what would become of you if you blew the whistle. So before blowing the whistle, first thing is that you should be very sure that the situation is not under. Your interviewers will demand that you understand the broad implications of scenario, because you are talking about patients, you are talking about your team, you are talking about your colleagues. It's not about yourself in these scenario if other people are involved. So then they test your ability to address all the relevant issues. So these are some of the articles from GMC, and like 25 says, you must take prompt action if you think the patient's safety, dignity, or comfort is or may be seriously compromised. And then take the action, whatever is within your means. Don't keep quiet. You will not forgive yourself. Then Article 12, that raising and acting on concerns about patient safety. That if you have reason to believe that patients are maybe or at risk of death or serious harm for any reason, so just see the words, death or serious harm. So you should raise your concern. You should report. Don't delay so because you are not in the position to put the matter right. So do not be that I'm not. You have got brain, you have got eyes, you have got hands to write email, or you have got mouth to speak. So do so if you feel that there is a situation. Then Article 13, wherever possible, you should first raise your concern with the first, like your manager, then appropriate officer, then clinical team. So gradually step up the escalation. Not first time you will go to the GMC or Article 43, you must support colleagues who have problems with their performance or health. However, you see, the second line is very important, that you must put patient safety first at all times. So they say business is business and cup of tea is cup of tea. So of course, our colleagues are our friends, but if you feel that there is some, performance issue, you can support and help them. But if that performance issue or health issue, God forbid, is affecting the patients, then please speak up. Someone asked about to touch on clinical governance. So again, if they ask you about anything of clinical governance, anything related to that, don't just regurgitate the definition. Try to incorporate an example for everything. So they may say that, what do you understand by clinical governance? Then you can say that those are 7 pillars, and you can talk about that. Again, if you don't remember exactly, that's fine, but you should know that there are 7 pillars, and you should know at least 2 or 3 minimum of them. So audit, we all know. Risk management, we all know. Clinical effectiveness, we all know. So these days, we are discussing about risk management of a certain SOP. So literally long discussions are going on. And so you should cover all the aspects of clinical governance and give an example if you can. Okay, there is one more technique to give answers to certain questions, that mistake you have made, just like that rule you have broken. And could you describe the time where you led a team, or could you give an example where, so again, don't give a huge mistake, please. Don't give an example, even if, God forbid, you have done somewhere, or so I hope not, but try to give example of a minor mistake where, like, there was maybe maximum moderate harm to the patient. And then the most important thing in this is the reflection. So thank you, everyone. I think today was the last bit. And if anyone wants any things to be addressed, maybe in future I can go for that.